I am Associate Professor Therese Davis and the Program Director of the Master of Commerce. But I also want to introduce to you, to my right, below me, I don't know how because the screen is all differently configured, but that's Dr. Ellie Meredith, the Deputy Program Manager, not the Deputy Program Manager, that's a mistake. It's Deputy Program Director, Master of Commerce. And Kylie, who is the other part of the Trinity, as it were, our wonderful Program Manager, who has the answers to all your vexing questions about the program itself. So I'm going to move on and introduce you to amazing alumni of our program. And I just want to say to you, Duke Pidongbai, who is a Master of Commerce graduate from for this year, who specializes in business analytics and finance, so a double major there, who is an accountant at KPMG Beijing, starting in October. So he's already got his contract signed and ready to go and take off. And he's had some wonderful internship experiences in auditing and the finance industry. And over here we have Cindy Zhuning Zhang, who is a graduate who will be a graduate this year, who's finishing up and who has been specializing in finance and business information systems, who is a HR intern at eCargo Holdings in Shanghai and has been part of the 3-week entrepreneurship program with Study New South Wales as well. So lots of things there and plenty of other internships both at Baidu and at Bayer. So she's done lots of things, as you can see, very active and engaged with everything that's happening with our program. I'm just going to sort of run through the agenda a little bit here. We're going to first talk a little bit about the program itself, and I'll run through the major structure of the program and explain a few things to you. And then, of course, I'm going to turn it over to our amazing alumni who are here, who can speak much better than I can about the effectiveness of the program and the wonderful things we do here in this gorgeous building, which is the business building at the University of Sydney, where we are not because of the COVID. We are all virtually away, but will soon return, hopefully. So I suppose we start with this question: why should you do the Master of Commerce at the University of Sydney, which is a question most of you are trying to answer. And the reason for that, I can tell you, is some things we're very proud of. First of all, we are world leaders in terms of our impact. We are the first in Australia and second in the world in terms of the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings for 2020. And in terms of our graduate employability rankings, we are the first in Australia and fourth in the world, according to the QS Graduate Employability Rankings. So you can see the rankings do us a lot of credit. And also I want to point out we are the top 1% in the world. The University of Sydney Business School is the only business school in Australia to hold the Triple Crown, as we call it, in terms of accreditation, along with a CEMS membership, that is the Community of European Management Schools. So let me just introduce you to the Master of Commerce program. And this is, as you know, a refreshed program from what originally was. So we had an extremely good program from which our alumni have just graduated, as you will hear from them. But we felt that we needed to refresh it, partly because of what's going on now, but also because for the last 2 years, we've been thinking about what we could do better. So it has been co-designed with industry, and the program has 8 future-focused specializations to prepare students for a really agile career and to help future-proof careers against what future shocks may lie in wait for us. Because this is something we've all become very aware of in this year. So why study this program with us? It develops a global, responsible, and adaptable mindset. And we do start with core subjects, which look particularly at the idea that we need to engage both the creative and the analytical sides of our brains, that we need to be responsible and ethical in the way we do business. So these are sort of the core principles on which this program is based, and the school works on as well. Also, I do like to point out that we have both research and global exchange pathways available for this program. and we have dedicated industry engagement experiences. There'll be a lot more information available about the work integrated learning, the internships that are available, and also things like our careers and employment office and the work they do. But what I want to say to you is that it helps you follow your passions and study in a time frame that kind of suits you and caters to students with prior business background and work experience, and also for those who don't have that, who come straight out of an undergraduate degree. So we have 2 program pathways and durations. And as I said before, the Careers Employment Office, and we are particularly proud of our Job Smart program, which has won many awards and is particularly suited for our international students who come here and want to get a bit of work experience. And this helps them achieve their career aspirations. So really what it does do is create a lot of, help you be in demand in terms of in terms of the marketplace, the work marketplace out there. So now I'm going to move on and sort of talk a little bit about these 2 program options, because we have actually 2 pathways, the 1.5-year Master of Commerce and the 2-year Master of Commerce extension. And the difference between the 2 really is that the 1.5, or the shorter version, is really meant for somebody who has a cognate degree or a bachelor's degree in commerce, business, or a related degree with a minimum of 65% credit average. And the 2-year program is slightly different, and it is really for students who don't have a business experience or background, which of course means you need to spend a little more time getting familiar with that business context. And it requires a bachelor's degree, of course, but it doesn't have to be in a business-related area. And I just want to point out that in terms of specializations, clearly the longer version of the program allows you to take up to 2 specializations, whereas the 1.5-year pathway allows for 1 specialization. So you do need to be a little bit organized and think ahead and understand what you're getting into in terms of specializations, so you are able to plan carefully for that 1.5-year program especially. Also, I want to point out that recognition of prior learning is available by application, so you do need to apply for it, but is available for depending on what sort of a background you have and what your previous learning has been. I will move on to the wonderful 8 specializations we do offer. We have changed a lot of the kind of areas we focus in on, and we have made them more cutting edge. We've also taken into account the fact that these are the growth areas in the marketplace. So clearly, if you think about what's popular out in the employment market, and also what are the growth areas in terms of our economy, you can see clearly that the growth areas are in digital business, data analytics, strategic innovation, and also, given especially the COVID year we've been through, global logistics are becoming increasingly important, because we've seen that this is a world that's been whose logistics and supply chains have been disrupted massively, and the implications of all of that. So I would point out that these are our newer specializations. I want to point out the global logistics particularly, and the strategy, innovation, and management, which are completely new specializations within the MCOM. The other ones are more traditional, the accounting, the marketing, and the economics majors, of course. So I thought I might just run through very quickly some of the specializations we want to sort of focus in on, because they're new and particularly innovative. Now, digital business is, as you well know, there's actually, in a way, digital is sort of redundant, because all business is digital these days, or has elements of being digital. So this specialization actually allows students to develop skills in critical analysis, problem solving, IT-related leadership, and it also gives you an understanding of how businesses operate in the digital world. It allows you to learn about the crucial role that digital technologies are playing in disrupting industries and in transforming organizations. And this has never been truer than in this past year, of course. And employers here are looking for graduates who understand both business and technology issues, but also have the skills that apply the knowledge in a business context. So if you think about, typically IT is connected with the engineering faculty, or you go off and do an engineering degree to understand computer science or information systems. Digital business is really saying, okay, we take those technologies and let's look at how it applies in the business context. So it's about applying those and making business decisions, yeah? So it's quite a different sort of practice. And I just want to say that career options here are vast. You can be a business consultant, you can be a business analyst who uses technologies to inform their practice. There's also, you can be a security analyst in terms of cybersecurity, which is obviously a very large and growing area. In the areas of knowledge and information management, you could be a business systems analyst or an information systems project manager, a business process manager, or an IT management consultant. So as you can see, there are a huge number of options there. And the important thing to notice here is that we are not about creating, going off and doing computer science degrees or learning to program. We do that as well, but that's not our core business. The core business is looking at how we apply these things in a business context. And let me then take you to strategy, innovation, and management, which is one of our new and shining specializations, which is really key to providing knowledge and skills needed to become effective strategists. So if you want to be part of the strategy function within an organization, look at overall strategy within an organization or beyond that, then this is the specialization for you. It helps you become an innovator, look at making decisions in a larger landscape, really. It equips students with frameworks and tools to address wicked problems, particularly business challenges, of course, in this turbulent global environment. It also helps to improve social and environmental accountability of business practices and operations, because it puts in context the social aspect of business, because business doesn't operate in any vacuum. We need to think about, the context and environment within which it operates. Think about what it can give you. This is a specialization that creates strategic innovators. It helps people develop effective strategies and creates a global kind of mindset. It helps with, if you want to be an entrepreneur or want to have a startup, you still need to have that sort of strategic and innovative approach. And employers are by and large increasingly seeking to hire students who have this broader skill set, so not this narrow sort of specialization. So people need to be able to think across strategic frames and think in innovative ways. So it is about leadership at one level as well. And above all, of course, keeping a global perspective and having this thirst for innovation and new things. And I just want to say elective units of study include things like international business and alliances, looks at strategy in emerging and newer markets. So looking at new opportunities. It looks at business negotiation, a skill that you really need to have if you want to be in top management and in terms of planning strategy. If you want to be a consultant, this is a specialization for you. Also, it helps you manage things like change, which is very salient right now for all of us. Think about, even if you're going into something like social entrepreneurship or want to be innovative in areas of sustainability and so on, you do need to have these skills that help you be strategic about these innovations, and therefore this might be the specialization for you. And of course, a more traditional specialization would be finance, which is a very popular specialization within our current program, and I'm sure will continue to be one in a new program. In finance, of course, this degree could take you anywhere from being an investment banker to being an economist. Only on Wednesday, I was speaking to a couple of our alumni from this particular specialization, one who's in capital markets at NAB, and the other one who looks at capital projects in Macquarie. bank. So very much folks who've been out there for 5 to 7 years, I think, on an average. So those are sort of careers we're talking about. Also fund managers, actuaries, corporate merchant banking, securities and derivatives, a big area, of course, insurance brokers, taxation management consultants. All of those are careers that you could possibly pursue. And elective units of study could be anything from financial markets and institutions to entrepreneurial finance, also things like obvious things like mergers and acquisitions, corporate valuation, financial risk management, a very important area right now, and also portfolio theory applications, portfolio management, and so on. So this is really a specialization that gives students an understanding of the complexity of modern risk, and we all know that that is such an important thing today. Risk in the modern turbulent world is something we need to think deeply about and need to learn to understand so that we learn to manage it better, and also provides you with the technical tools to manage it. So it isn't good enough to think about how to manage it, but we really need to be able to do it and do it in a global setting, because as we've seen, this is a globally connected world. Also think about the way portfolios are managed, the whole idea of understanding financial theory around it so that we can apply it in different contexts, but also important things like understanding mergers and acquisitions and looking at the international market in all of this. So can I say, rather than me telling you about the specializations, I'm going to sort of give you a little bit of a student journey of a real student. This is Emmanuel Vergara, who is a key account manager with Walsh & Co. Asset Management. And and if you look at this little pictogram here, this sort of depicts his nice pathway through the finance specialization at the University of Sydney. But notice that he's gone back and forth. So it isn't as if the Master of Commerce was where he started. He was working before that, and then he came into the program, and then he went on to do very different, or rather quite different things. And in between, he managed to find the time to represent University of Sydney as part of the 2016 Good Day USA tour as well. So as you can see, a very well-rounded CV there. He did an undergraduate degree in law and business, worked a little bit in investment banking and fund management, and then he tried to extend his technical knowledge in finance, and then realized he needs to come back and do a degree in finance with us. So he did that. But then it also allowed him to do all these other wonderful things. And what he says is that it helped him balance full-time work and while developing global networks with students and academics. And then, of course, he ends up as a key account manager with Walsh & Co. So this is a nice sort of a little picture of where this degree could take you. And of course, very different journeys everybody has. So this is Disti Vinata, who has a slightly different journey because she specialized, of course, in marketing. And that's, I have to say that's near to my heart because I'm a marketing person myself. She started though in a very different place. She started with an undergraduate degree in health sciences from Canada. And then she decided she was looking for a new career direction in business and marketing. So she came and did the Master of Commerce in Marketing. And that gave her a theoretical overlay so that she could then, she knew how to apply those practical skills, given that knowledge of theoretical understanding. And she completed internships both in Sydney and Singapore. So this is one of the great opportunities that the MCOM does give you, is the ability to be able to move around. Well, maybe not immediately, but if you are enrolling next year, very shortly, I hope, when we can move around the world, but also keeping in mind that a lot of these projects now are currently gone online. So you can easily do an internship for somebody who is in Singapore, but you may be in a completely different location. So a lot of our work integrated learning has gone online, and a lot of them have become digital programs or internships. So it's still possible to do that, and many of them are currently doing these. And also notice that she is the winner of the Best Quick Pivoting Award from Incubate, a startup program at the University of Sydney, which is another opportunity for our students. And you can be part of these accelerators and incubators as well. I just will sort of quickly run through this. This is a very key part of our program, the Industry Engagement and Work Integrated Learning, where you do gain real life, real world experience with quite a range of work integrated learning options. We have a number of programs within the Work Integrated Learning Hub. And within that, we have the China Future of Business Study Tour, which is an intensive. I have to point out that this, of course, has been taken online for the year, and maybe depending on how things go, we will reinstate it as live or online. There is a business practicum program, where you work with fellow students on a real life project. So the company comes to Will with a problem, and they give it to the students who work together as a team and solve the problem. And the projects are completely linked to industry. And there's also a local placement program where you can intern for a Sydney-based organization and get some real life world experience. And of course, the international placement program, which again, I have to say is dependent, of course, on how things turn out in the COVID world. But typically you could intern for an overseas organization in US or China. And of course, you can also find a self-sourced placement if you'd rather. If you have somebody you'd like to work with, an organization you prefer to work with, you could do that as well. I will point out this particular program, which we're very proud of, and was the Financial Review's employability winner in 2019. So the University of Sydney Job Smart program won the 2019 award for that. It is a free program for all international students. So this is kind of, because lots of our international students told us that, you know, one of the biggest problems they have when they come and do a course overseas is that they don't get work experience, local work experience, even though they might have a lot of work experience from elsewhere. So the Job Smart program really is a free program for international students. It's split across 3 phases. It gives and 3 semesters. It gives career coaching to begin with. It allows students to network with people in industry, and then provides them with some work experience so that they can complete the program and really be job ready. So this is the idea of Job Smart, is to be, you know, so that by the time you finish the MCOM degree, you are kind of ready to launch into the marketplace. So there is the phase 1, which is the Job Start, which is the 3-week virtual consulting project you do. A job collaboration, where when you completed the first phase, where you go for 3 weeks and do an income company consulting project. Of course, this is done virtually now. And finally, you go into phase 3, which is a job ready one, which is where you complete the program, and the best performers from that receive a 12-week internship. So it's really 3 phases, but a really, really popular and very productive program. I will finish off now, since I've kind of given you an overlay, and I know the more important part and the more exciting part for most of you will be not listening to me talk, but to listen to our wonderful alumni, or almost alumni, I should say, speak to you and of their experiences and tell you what they got out of the program. So that's a much more interesting part of this agenda. But I'll just, before I go away, point out that there are other postgraduate programs as well, not just the MCOM. So even though we are the MCOM team, there is the Master of HR, Human Resources Management and Industrial Relations, which is a very popular program for those who want to specialize or who are HR experts, as opposed to the MCOM, which has specializations within it. So you are a generalist with a specialized knowledge in one area, but these are specialized degrees. So if you want to really do a deep dive into a particular area like international business, for instance, the Master of International Business may be the option for you. Similarly, we have a Master of Logistics and Supply Chain Management as well, and a Master of Professional Accounting, which is extremely popular, and a lot of our students do that. There is a Master Management as well, which is a really good program, and a slight variant of that, which is called a Master of Management SEMS, which is open to our community of European management schools. So people from there come over here to do courses, and likewise our students go over there. There's also, of course, the Master of Business Administration, or the MBA, which is a 1.5-year program with an August intake only. And that's a much more, that's a very particular program for those who want to sort of move up in management, who are already in existing positions, and is a post-experience program. So I'm going to stop here because really we want to listen to, or you want to listen to, our recent graduates. So over to Cindy and Duke.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy. Nice to meet you guys.
Oh, hello everyone, I'm Duke.
There you have them. There's Duke and Cindy, two recent, almost graduated alumni to be. And I'm going to just ask them to talk a little bit about their experiences. Yeah? Who would like to go first?
Oh, okay, I can go first.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. My name is Cindy. I just graduated from Master of Commerce, specializing in finance and business information systems. Yeah, and I did my bachelor's degree in China, majoring in taxation. And now I'm just trying to apply for my graduation job in China. Yeah, that's about me. So Duke, you can go second.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Duke, and I'm currently in Beijing, my home, and I'm employed to be an accountant for KPMG Beijing office. I've just been graduated from UC weeks ago, actually, the first online ceremony, and last semester was my final semester, of course, and fully online, the first wave of students fully online.
Wow.
Actually, I did pretty well, and even better than before. I've got 3 HDs out of the 4 units, and also the top 3 of our capstone unit got 6,000. The success in business. So I think you may want some experience from my side, who have just completed this degree.
Sorry, do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about what you got out of the program?
For me? Okay. Yeah. Actually, I've been learning here for my bachelor degree too. So it's just one step further for me to do the MCOM for the second step. And actually, the teaching stuff are really important for me to choose to do the postgraduate studies here. And I major in finance and business analytics because I was doing finance and accounting for the BCom. So I think a finance student need to go to experience the full side of all finance field, and to learn more about the business world before getting to the workforce. And then I think I've learned many from useful knowledge from the Dr. Richard Philip, Dr. Hamish Malok. They are really brilliant and the smartest person I've never known for my life. They teach the most difficult units in finance, and those are really important, like portfolio management, advanced asset pricing, And also when I talk about my business analytics, actually I've done one elective unit of management decision making with our associate professor, Daniel Oren. And I wasn't good enough, but he encouraged me to be like, to learn more in the future study. And at that time, I chose to major in business analytics, which is now called data analytics for business. And he taught me again for further knowledge. And then I've got one HD in his unit. And then I proved to myself that I can be better in this unit, which is really important because I think BA is the future key of reshaping many industries in this business world. And we need to grab some knowledge from this degree, from this unit.
Okay. Yeah. Now for me, I think my journey was quite different from Duke's. I did my bachelor's in China, and the reason I chose to study a postgraduate was that I thought I was not that qualified to be a very good candidate after doing my undergraduate. So, and Sydney Uni was ranked number one in Australia and number 3, I think, or 4, I think, around the world in its employability skills. So I would like to just increase my skills in employability and be a very qualified candidate after graduation. So I chose to study Master of Commerce. And the reason I chose to study finance was that I would like to increase my quantitative analytics skills and also maybe to take the CFA exams. Yeah, and in Sydney Uni, the finance major, I think its unit of study is a good combination of something you would like to learn in CFA and also something that you will need to know when you go to some investment banks or go to some financial institutions. So if you want to just pursue your degree or pursue your job in this area, I think finance would be a very good choice for you. And the other major I took was the business information systems, but I just noticed that it has already been cancelled. Maybe the other one, the one that now Sydney Uni serves is called digital business, I think. Yeah, but I think it's quite similar to what I did in business information systems. In this major, I think you will know a lot about how to run a business in a very macro perspective. For example, how to do some digital transformation and how to utilize some software like SAP and Tableau to do data visualization and to do process management. So if you want to be a consultant or a business analyst, I think this could be a very good major, the digital business for you. Yeah, and in Sydney Uni, I think some highlights for me is that I have joined a lot of programs and also some extracurricular activities to increase my leadership and teamwork skills. And when you are doing some interview or job application, this will be a very good benefit for you to prove yourself that you are a very good candidate for them to choose. Yeah, thank you.
I was just wondering if I could ask both of you to talk a little bit about what you enjoyed most during your time here.
Yeah. Well, then I start. Okay. So I think I enjoy the first. I think the coffee. You wouldn't miss it, and but some taking the online course may not be able to enjoy it next semester, but I recommend it. Besides it, I think the teaching in the lecture and tutorials are really great because no matter online or in person, the teachers, the lecturers, the tutors are really welcome to like explain any of your questions thoroughly, like into pieces, like to make you understand. And also, I think the Job Smart program and the Career Center programs that I have joined was really important for my job skills, because I've got one letter of attendance here. It's for Career Center, and I took the Job Smart program phase 1 and 2, not the phase 3 because of COVID-19. So yeah, so it's interesting that Job Smart still emails me for joining them, but I'm not graduated. so I know that what phase 3 do, but I just can't join because of some personal issues. Now I need to deal with my employer. I need to learn much more than about the physical skill. So here, I think I need to like point out some important thing is we are not just learning knowledge here, that we need to be job ready, be prepared, be adaptive. Of course, from the experience of COVID this year, we have to be adaptive. And personally, I've been through many of the interesting things that COVID turned myself to another, and I adapted to it, and I grabbed the chances to be like job ready and to get the job. It's quite hard, but interesting. Well, Cindy, you may start. Yeah.
Thank you, Duke. Yeah, and for me, I think Sydney Uni has offered a lot of very good services, some support services for me to choose to attend some programs. For example, in first semester, I just joined the peer mentoring program, and I got the chance to meet one mentor and also 8 other fellow mentees. And we got very good friendship with each other. And also my mentor has taught us a lot about his experience and to make me to feel more adapted to life in Sydney Uni, because especially for international students is very important. Yeah, and so in the second semester, I just applied to be a peer mentor by myself and to support more others, upcoming students by myself. And this can also be at the start point of my leadership skills development in Sydney Uni. Yeah, and also there are a lot of other services. For example, I also joined the alumni mentoring program. Yeah, and I got an alumni mentor, and who is a very famous, not famous, a very talented and very successful businessman in Australian workplace. Yeah, and he has told me one word I will always remember. That word is serendipity, which means that something that will happen by chance, but something pleasant will happen by chance, but you will never know. So what you need to do is just to grasp every opportunity to improve yourself, to work hard, and maybe serendipity will happen. So especially in this time during the COVID-19, I think this is a very good advice for all of you. I think also for myself, that is to adapt to the changes that you may encounter, and also to work hard. Maybe tomorrow, I think there will be a very good future, yeah, just around the corner. So I have learned this from my mentor as well. And also he has told me something about how to be a very good candidate, how to work in, how to behave in the workplace, this kind of thing. And I think only Sydney Uni, this platform can offer you this chance to get connected to these people, to boost your confidence and to expand your network. Yeah.
I love that word, serendipity. That is an important word, because we think of it as luck or chance, but actually it's about knowing when to take an opportunity that comes by. So I think it's about making your own luck as well. So that's a great word to use. Do you think I could ask you about what other students around you gave? So being in a class with so many other students, what did that do for you? Did you learn from them? Was it good? Of course, now in the virtual world, it's slightly different, but we still can we still have peers around us. So I thought maybe a few comments on that would be good.
Well, for me, because I've learned my bachelor here, I've got really a lot of peers, and I think they're really talented and they're hardworking because many of them are like getting jobs, getting internship from our IPP program, and finally get to PwC Sydney. And one of my friend Andy, he's PhD here now, and he even told me in one of the units of the business analytics. So that's really he's really talented, and many of the peers are really they like to share the experience and the way they learn the knowledge in the units, and we can teamwork in the group assignments, and we can communicate what we learned from the lecture from the different tutors, and we can get a better understanding of the coursework, and we can communicate, we can broaden our networking. That's really important for job seeking, because most of us are in the same field, like accounting, finance, fund manager, and they do the internship like business analytics. They are the analyst in DD, in like in Lyft. So we can communicate what's the future trend of this field, what industry might be more suitable for us to join under this situation of COVID. And this is really important because we come to uni, we learn not our own. Sorry, we need to learn things and communicate with others. That's really important. We need to build our own circle and to grow up here to be a better businessman or businesswoman, I think.
Cindy?
Okay, so I have developed very good friendship with a lot of fellow friends, and some of them I met just in the group assignment in the same unit of study, and while some others I met in the extracurricular activities, such as I joined the Supra, and I got some other people in the some other friends in the publication committee, and we can just go to do something together, maybe go shopping or something. Yeah, and I think these people, they are from different cultural background. So it's a very good opportunity for you to learn different culture and to learn how they behave. And they all have some their personal advantages and their personal personalities. So you can just try to learn different things, even about different cuisines from different countries. Yeah. So just so what I think is that it's better to meet different people and to communicate with them. And I think most of them, they love to share. And please just develop good friendship with them and to learn something from them. It's very important. And especially in this time, I think people are connecting more virtually. So I think, but you also need to connect with other people. Otherwise, you will feel lonely. So just need to communicate with them in social media, and maybe you can just do study together. You just open the video and let's do the study together. So this may be a good alternative way to something live one. Yeah. So just try to do something and to develop the friendship, even though in this experience.
I think it's a really important time when you develop your networks, as Duke pointed out. And these are networks that will last through your careers and through your lives, both socially and professionally. And so it's really important. Duke, did you want to say something?
I also want to say something additional, like don't miss the club and society. So we might be online, but still there are many of the clubs and society may help you, because like CENS have helped me with my group interview skill. They've created a chance to bring alumni to the uni, and then we had a leaderless group discussion, which is exactly the same when I experienced in KPMG. That's even like a mock exam for me, which is really important. And many other clubs like basketball, or the jobs and the societies on the Eastern Avenue are really interesting. When you walk around, and then they might invite you to their societies.
Absolutely. I think that's such an important part of your overall experience at university.
Yeah.
Cindy, do you want to talk a little bit about clubs? And you mentioned Supra, but any other clubs and things, publication society, did you say?
I just joined the publication committee of Supra.
Okay, yeah. What other clubs and societies that you might be part of? Because that's really what it's all about, right? It's not all about the academic part.
I didn't join a lot of clubs and societies. I only joined this one, I think.
That's a busy one, so that must have kept you very busy, right? True. But it is important to have that well-rounded experience at university, and University City is very good at doing that always. Because there's so many clubs and societies on campus, isn't there?
Yeah, and one thing I would like to add is that if you are an international student, I would recommend you to join the language exchange program. I have got a language partner who is a very talented young lady doing computer science degree. And she is a local Australian, and we always discuss a lot about culture, and she wants to learn Mandarin and I want to learn English. So it's a very good combination, I think.
That's fantastic. That's really what the Sydney experience is all about. So, so what do you think, both of you standing on the edge of going off into your professional lives, what do you think lies ahead for you, and how do you think the MCOM program actually prepared you for that? Or do you think it has prepared you for that?
For me, I think MCOM is really, really helpful, and because I wasn't ready when I was a bachelor year, and I think MCOM gave me another chance to be better in this business world and to learn more from the uni, from the lectures, and also the job skills. Mm-hmm. I think although I didn't choose to work in Sydney, back to Beijing and work in my hometown. But I think in this globalized business world, working in Beijing still needs many experience and the language, the knowledge, the language, the skills from UC, because this place really helped me grow up to be a businessman, and I do recommend UC MCOM to be the next step of the fellows who come to this webinar tonight. Yeah.
Thank you, Duke.
Cindy?
Thank
you. And for me, I think I would highly recommend you to do Master of Commerce degree, because I think it not only teaches you about some academic skills, it also teaches you about some transferable skills, some soft skills you need to know in the real business world. And for the academic skills, because there are a lot of specializations you can choose, and there are a lot of units of studies in each specialization, so you can just choose the one that you have interest in, and maybe you will be a professional in that area. And For the transferable soft skills, there are a lot of programs, such as the one that Teresa has mentioned, the IPP program. I also joined that program. So I think the program not only offered me an internship opportunity in Shanghai, but also the whole application process is quite similar to the real job application process. So you will be more prepared when you apply for the real job. For example, how to do interviews, how to write some written tests, how to do the online application, for example. So if you do that before your graduation, you will be more prepared and more confident when you graduate. So I think Sydney Uni Business School offers a lot of good support activities, and the whole course structure is very good.
And that's it for our questions. I hope we managed to answer most of your questions, but feel free to contact any of us. There's Ellie and me and Kylie who can answer your questions. And so please be in touch with us and ask us any of your questions, and if we cannot answer them, or you want a deeper understanding of a particular specialization, we will direct you to the particular specialization coordinator who will be able to answer those questions for you. So thank you